Morning campers, coffee time. So, Bill Gates, William Gates of Hell, yes. What's he doing in the White House then? What is he doing in the White House? This is a man who did a TED talk talking about if we can bring down the population by 10%. That's a shit accent, I know, but you know, go and look up his TED talk on reducing the world's population. Then go and look up his father, his fascia. His fascia was one of the founders of the eugenics movement. He was on the board of Planned Parenthood with that other crazy bitch, can't remember her name now. Yeah, and eugenics is a made-up name for a science that means kill people. It's just another word. It's like this new phrases that are going around like unalived. You know, it's murder. It's not unalived. And eugenics is murder. And Gates has a long history. He was probably a sex slave as a kid. In fact, there's a great photo, if you can find it, of him dressed as a little girl. You know, it's hard to know what's real with AI and stuff these days. And talking of not knowing what's real, you know, I am a conspiracy theorist. I just want to say that. And it is worth looking up some things because, you know, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, what's going on over social media is people going, oh my God, what are you doing having this criminal in the White House? Well, whatever your perspective, you should have worked out by now that the character of Trump, right, is placing people, and JD Vance, placing people in the spotlight. You know, that's why Steer Karma and van der Leyen, Hitler, whatever her name is, queued up to Trump's Scottish house on his golf course to be received by Donald Trump. Even though he was visiting the UK, he was receiving them instead of them receiving him. And they travelled to be received by him. And then they all flew to America and sat in the White House on his command. And then you've got Bill Gates in there, and rightly so. People are in uproar about the fact that this horrible human being, if he is human, I don't think, we'll get to that in a minute, is in the White House. But what's going on is that people are going, this is terrible, how can you do this? This man's a murderer. I mean, blatantly, he is. But is that really Bill Gates? Is it? I don't think so. I don't think so. And, you know, it's been going around for years, pictures of his wife, Melinda, in the last 10 years at least. Those pictures that's not the same woman. In fact, a lot of those pictures look like Kevin Kline in drag. So, you know, is it really him? In fact, if you go to yandex.com and just type in, and just do this for fun. I'm not saying I know what's happening exactly, but just do it for fun. Just type in Bill Gates hung in India, and you'll find some interesting stories about the fact that in India, the locals got so fucking annoyed with the Gateses that they allegedly, I don't know if it's true, allegedly hung them both Bill and Melinda, in 2013. If that is true, who's this guy in the White House? Is it part of a narrative to help people wake up to the true scale of the genocide that's been appropriated on the human race? Is it? Or is Donald Trump a really bad guy and wants to bring in digital ID and those things you put in your arm and alter the genes of the human race? Which one do you think it is? Well, I think with all of these things, as I've been saying consistently, is that like everything is a kind of spiritual test. And one thing that's certainly happening is, and this is just, you know, I try to stick to the facts whilst floating around ideas. You know, I'm very open-minded to all possibilities, but the evidence does stack up if you really start digging into it. And really, that's what this is about. What I think we're seeing with Trump and Vance and the rest of them, and RFK, who obliterated the vaccine lobbyists yesterday. I mean, how's that not good news? And Florida has removed all these from Florida, which is, how's that not good news? You know, there's amazing things going on, but you know, when you're trying to affect the consciousness of 6, 7, 8 billion people, you have to put certain things into the spotlight, into the center stage, in a way that the mainstream can't ignore. You know, it's all very well numpties like me talking on the internet from their kitchens and cafes and, you know, into their little phones, but mainstream media is still a place which reaches billions of people. So these things have to be put into the spotlight and then reinforced with digital soldiers going, hang on a minute, and then what happens is people start talking about it, and that's a good thing. People start talking about it and people start digging themselves. And you know, my opinion, for what it's worth, is that Gates, Fauci, etc. are all long gone. And that's just my tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist opinion. But that doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter whether you agree with my opinion or don't agree with my opinion. It's not, I don't give a shit. It's really about trying to look at the spiritual aspects of this kind of thing, because what I'm seeing is amazing. And I remain an apocalyptimist. Doesn't mean the world's ending. Apocalypse just means great unveiling. Unveiling? That's not a word. Is that a word? That's like somebody who doesn't want to eat baby cows. I'm not an unveiler. I'm an unveiling. That's the word. Not enough coffee yet. That's the problem. Need more coffee. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and God bless you and your family.